Hey there, guys. How's it going? My name is Five Dodge. I am a student pursuing my bachelor's of fine arts at Academy of the Arts University in San Francisco. Today, I just wanted to share with you a little project I've been working on. In fact, it's kind of like past 5 months or so, a semester of visual development. Right here, you can see a little guy I'm working on. This was for a project for my Visual Development 2 class. This guy, God, he looks great. This was for Telltale Heart, essentially. We were tasked with choosing one of a few fairy tales slash poems slash stories and deciding and developing a character and a environment for it. So that's what I'm working on here. After reading the story, a few things really stuck out to me. Number one, we know that this character is some sort of servant, slash, at least of subservience to the scary eye, the creepy peacock eye, or how he defines it. So we know that this is a service character. I also kept noticing a lot of vision and audio clues. Of course, that can create a better standard of horror, right? It really draws us in, but it is also, what we're going off of with the character. So I really wanted to incorporate good vision and good hearing into this character, which is why most of my ideas came up with really large ears. Those were really fun to work on. After that, we also learned that this character is very obsessive, right? They obsess over the eyeball, the eagle eye. So I wanted to really bring out the creepiness in this character that I found. And so most of my decisions are working more towards this creepy angle. I came up with a bunch of designs and chose this one who kind of looks like this, tall, lanky, his suit and pants are like too short for him. At first I was making his belly button stick out a little bit, like large shoes to kind of counterbalance all of this, long pointy fingers that look all gross. I wanted him to sort of like have stretchy skin and a little comb over that doesn't really hide anything. Just everything we're playing with is kind of, not looking too good. Just more elements to freak out the viewer. And this is my first design for the character, so you'll see later on that I've actually updated him with teacher suggestions, so we'll look at that when it comes up. But for now, enjoy. So after making our pose chart to see how he would look in all of his positions, we were tasked also with making an expression sheet. And so I just copied over a bunch of his faces and drew on top of them. This is something I'm not too proud of. You'll see later on that we've definitely improved upon it. But for a character who's so creepy, so I don't know, expressive to me, like he's definitely got a lot of energy, and he's really pulling the show in whatever project he's working on. I think that these faces and these ideas are not enough. You know, you'll see later on how I really pushed this to the extreme. But for right now, enjoy me trying to figure out how to do an expression sheet for the first time. All right, beautiful. Lovely little expression sheet. So after some hints from my teacher, you'll notice, hey, this creepy little funny ugly guy is not really doing that in his poses. He's kind of just standing there all upright and stuff, and he doesn't have too much emotion and expression in him. So I decided that if I wanted to really make him creepy and lengthy and long, I thought a great way to do that would be to actually bend him over, make him squat, right? I know I'm a bit tall myself and I have terrible posture because of that. So I thought really exaggerating, bringing out like a whole S curve for that back. You'll notice that his neck kind of feeds into his skull at a bit of more closer to like a grazing animal than you would see in a human. Just being real creepy about it. I also did this cute little prop design. Was very fun for this project. This was my idea for, I believe my girlfriend had an idea for this, that he had a little like lantern that was a little face, and then his eyeball would like shoot out the light, and then I thought it would be a great idea to turn it on and off by actually poking it in the eye, getting that like animated like good squish, like a big wet squelch sound. I know, this whole project, disgusting. I love it. Admittedly, this entire project, I'm just going with the ideas that are gonna creep me out, and hopefully other people as well. I love doing these hands, right? They were way too boring and flat in the first image, so the ability to make them all like, curled up and all creepy, like, he's probably like rubbing his hands together a lot or twiddling his thumbs together. I also thought in this S-curve, I really wanted to bring out this little Adam's apple of his neck, right? I wanted to lower it as much as possible and make it real gross. I think at the time I was thinking that it would be great to make it kind of move like a testicle would, admittedly. I don't know where my brain was at. I just thought, hey, this is probably the most disgusting thing I could do, so sounds perfect. You'll also notice that the shoes shrunk. That was from advice from my teacher, and I kind of like it shrunk as opposed to larger. I think that it really personifies the like creepy little guy energy, You'll see later I've got cute little sketches of him running and sneaking around that work just so much better with these like thin shoes that shouldn't line up with how a foot would work, What else do we got? I give him a good jacket that would flow in the wind. I decided to bring out a shirt so that I don't show his belly button. I thought that was a bit too much, honestly. Very long pants that are still too short for him. His socks go up on him. Yeah, he's looking great. So yeah, we made a lot of cute little, tiny little vignettes for him to be creeping around. I thought that these poses would work really well to just see him, you know, sprinting or creeping around in the house would be super funny. Going back to the expression sheet, something that really helped for this project is I decided to create like a whole skull for him to really show how the innards would work. And I liked his skull being like, you know, that. I liked that the smile is even built into his cheekbones, how his bones even don't structure well. They don't make sense. They don't line up well, and it just contributes to this, you know, creepy, off-putting aesthetic. Oh boy! So yeah, this is the neck. This is the neck idea I had. I thought that he could show. Oh God, I'm sorry. I thought that he could show off some expression through his neck and his Adam's apple, and I wanted to sort of bounce around and you know, God, yeah, that's terrible. But yeah, I wanted him to sort of jump up and go up into the air, and for his little Adam's apple to, you know, swing and bounce around as he does. Disgusting, I know. And you'll notice that I really kind of pushed these expressions as far as we go. This is about the time where we learned that expression sheets were for, you know, pushing things as far as they'll go. I think this is a little addition from my friend Edward. I think this was his idea of a surprised version of this kid. Yeah, he's taken over at this point. You can see his art style is, oh God. I think that's still locked away in the document somewhere. Yeah, you'll notice the hands. I wanted to incorporate the hands into the expressions. You know, hands are second to the second thing that shows the most emotion in these pieces. So I really wanted to put the hands in as much as I could. So you'll see, I think I put them on the sad face as well. I just really liked how they look. I think they're great, and I want them incorporated as much as I can into every part of his character. Yeah, this is where the neck design comes in. He's a funky little guy. All right, here's where I might have gone a bit overboard with the high to low energy expression sheet. My idea was sort of like he would show when he's high and low energy through both his neck, his ears, as well as his like eyes. Like we've got that cool, like one eye is over flooded and one eye is small, but I wanted them to sort of shrink and dilate with his emotions, you know, like real life, as well as his ears. I don't know what I was doing there. I think I just liked his ears and wanted them to be as like changing and gross as possible. I don't know what's going on with that neck at that point. I think I'm going too far. Oh, I think I'm showing it in motion. Oh, that's disgusting. Yeah, I hate that. Oh, wow. That's... What was I thinking? All right, so this piece is the final character render. I just added all my key colors. He's a butler, gonna make him in his black and white dress getup. I also decided that in order to make him look grosser, I could have his skin more desaturated as opposed to his fleshy little pinpoint light. I thought that would be a good way to show that, like, hey, not everyone in this world looks like this, just this guy for some reason. So what am I doing right now? I'm blocking in all the light shapes. This took a bit of time, and I think I didn't actually use these shapes. I think I refined them later. Yeah, so I have the shadow and light. I'm just working with how it would work. His skin gave me so many troubles. You're gonna see a lot of time spent on these sections. I think I'm just doing my ambient occlusion right now. My initial idea was just to have this gray, but you'll see later on I start to go into making a bunch of different mock-ups for how the skin should look. Yes, I liked this idea. You'll notice in the gloves that they've got black at the tips. I wanted it to get closer and closer to some sort of like mystery texture at the tips of his gloves. I thought that would just be gross and not fun to deal with. From an audience's perspective, so that was super fun. Yeah, you can tell that the skin and the face were really messing me up, and I had just no idea how to resolve this. There we go. That's started mocking up some skin renders. You can see I had every idea under the sun, from making it green to like playing with the pink. Finally, I settled on the idea of having a healthy skin underneath a translucent, darker skin. I thought that would be the grossest thing possible. As if there was like a thick, he looks great. As if there was healthy skin underneath all of this, but that his outside is almost like on top of like a secondary translucent skin. You can see all those veins and stuff underneath. Had fun drawing out his prison, his cage. I just love to draw the topology on top of the character or whatever masses I'm working with, just to really know what angles I have. It's just easier for me to understand the planes. All right, and here's the close-up for the eyeballs and my process behind that. My idea was to put as many colors into it as possible. A lot of veins, you know how it is. And then I also wanted to really refine how that large pupil would look in 3D. I thought that it would be interesting to look as though there was like worms underneath it. Maybe it doesn't work, and that the pupil had kind of exploded. And then I put, my meniscus film and my highlights on the eyeballs, make them real glossy and gross. And my monster is, for better or worse, born. He's beautiful. I love him. He is my son. Now let's put him in a room. So our environment design, we chose from a wealth of sketches that we had at our disposal. I thought a great sketch to show would be him entering the room, putting a pinpoint light on our main character, and how creepy and terrifying that would be from the perspective of the old man that he's keeping guard over. So I tried to make this scene, from the perspective of being in bed, being all cozied up, having your little slumber for the night with your little nightcap, and seeing your servant at the door with this little creepy hand light. I had so much fun with the architecture and prop design you would not believe. You'll see there's tons of German expressionism, there's tons of, Tim Burton style angles. Just had a lot of fun with making everything askew and not line up perfectly. You'll see that a lot of the furniture, I just wanted to make this as, I don't know, I guess subservient to the feel and the emotion, as opposed to subservient to logic. Oh God, you can tell that when this entire dresser is held up by this corpse or statue looking guy. Thought that he would be some sort of harvest demon. I don't know what I'm doing. It was fun, so I did it. I think that, yeah, most of the things in this image, yeah, I really wanted to show that this guy was a man of wealth. So I put him in a Victorian-style interior, and then I messed that all up and made it creepy. I think the dressers I had the most fun with. The one on the right, made of, like, teeth and a tongue that's supposed to hold your possessions in it, made of, like bones and stuff on top. Yeah, just a maw going on. There's a spine in there, I think. That little claw on the bottom, that's like an eagle's claw. I think I turned into a horse hoof later on. Right now, there we go. That was really fun to research how to make a horse hoof in perspective. Oh yeah, there's a little griffin hand going at it. Oh yes, the pot that turns into... You would not believe how much fun I had with all the prop design. Just figuring out how I would create all these props and how I would turn them into creepy little Burton-esque images. So yeah, this is just putting in the final little details at the end. There we go, yep, adding all of our lighting, making everything work together, really refining the gross innards of a mouth. Putting little details on the pot. I did designed that Victorian wallpaper. I think there's a little skull imagery in there somewhere. Had fun. And I did a tactic all artists should always use in my head. I know there's no rules in art, but this is just such a great idea. I saw someone on Instagram, do this. You just take your old paintings and studies that you've done in the past and you use those as images in someone's house, and then you just don't really need to paint more. It's just a quick little time-saving trick that I thought was so smart, and of course I'm gonna do it for homework. Of course I'm gonna steal that idea. So that was my creepy little guy. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. This was about 5 months of one of my 5 classes at the time. I had a lot of fun. I'll probably be posting a few more of these, and then I'd love to show you my process. When school starts back up, I'd like to show you how I think each week. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you all have a lovely day. Kisses, mwah.